Oh shit, we back again. What's up, what's happening? Come to the party and bring a friend. Fuck it, I'm bringing 10. Ooh, trying to chat a 10. Big boy trying to chat a 10. She said I was catchy. I said, yo, tap him in. Touchdown. Double cup, wow. I stuck smile when I puff loud. I touch clouds, catching touchdowns in my mind now, cause I'm zoned out. On a porch couch in the iCloud. 2 coughs and I'm back now. 2 coughs and I'm packed out. Somebody give me a drink before I gotta sit down. I'm making hits now with a smooth style.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the next edition of your favorite place on the internet for football content, ideas, and it all. It's the Trash Talk Tailgate. I am Riley Puddin-Peters. With me, as always, I have the doctor, defensive backs quality control coach, Preston Rowe. This is the Trash Talk Tailgate. So nice, you got to say it twice. Another all-season edition. Dr. Preston, how you feeling?
I'm good, man. We're about to be in July, which means we have about a month left.
Yeah,
You
dude,
just got to get through the dog days of July, and then we're in August, and then it's football season.
those hot dog days of summer where the football, the river of football, not like stuff happening, all that is almost dry. It's because of the heat. But, we have good stuff. Hey, man, training camp is right around the corner. Practices are soon to start for colleges.
Yes.
It's, this is that everybody is in the weight room right now, just like we've been in the lab grinding and figuring stuff out. This is that time.
Yes.
Absolutely, man. Beautiful time.
I'm excited,
Speaking of people that are, in trouble for having too beautiful of a time, we have, someone that's been in the news recently, Justin Tucker, ex-Ravens kicker Justin Tucker. He received a 10-week ban this week for an investigation into conduct violations, personal conduct violations. This is also all stemming from sexual misconduct allegations. He went down the Deshaun Watson path, and
you never go full Deshaun Watson.
Oh, dude, he went full Deshaun Watson. Couldn't be stopped. I think all of it. I think it's all in this thing that all of them are from like a 5-year period, and there's like 16. Yeah, 16 between 2012 and 26. So 4 years. 16 women have come up for a 4-year span. That's devious work, dude. That's absolutely devious work from a man. He is an absolute not a monster, but a deviant. 10-game suspension for him. Number 9 gets 10.
He does. Number 9 does get 10, and it's being reported that the reason he has just accepted this 10-game suspension, because a lot of players, they'll try to fight it. Tom Brady famously tried to sue the NFL for his 4-game suspension for Deflategate. He's just kind of accepted it because it's being reported that if he accepts it, the NFL is not going to make the evidence against him public. So he's like, I'll just take the 10-game suspension and not have the fucking huge PR hit.
Yeah.
We already had one.
He's already got a huge PR hit. He doesn't want the nuclear Chernobyl PR hit. That's really what he's looking to avoid. But yeah, this is just crazy. I think another thing that's funny though with the 10-game ban is that he's not even on a team.
He's a free agent.
The 10-game ban does go through the free agency. So if he's in the free agency, I think it's like November 11th. Is like after November 11th, the man can play. From August 26th through November 11th, he cannot do. I think he can practice, but he can't do anything else.
He picked the absolute worst time to have a sharp decline in his on-field play, because he is a career 89% field goal kicker, place kicker, and He makes 89% of his kicks for his career. That's insane. Last year, he went 22 of 30, which was 73%, by far the lowest of his career. The lowest career field goal percentage before that was, I believe,
missed a lot of
86%.
Yeah, and he missed a lot of like big kicks, like kicks that you just don't expect him to miss. Like he put the Ravens in some sketchy positions last season. So
it's crazy.
Now they have to have a battle of rookies to see who can fill the biggest boots in the locker room. Honestly, one of the biggest boots in the league consistently. That's a spot for a rookie to fill. But Justin Tucker,
he's a Hall of Famer. I'm pretty sure he's a Hall of Famer.
Yeah, I mean, maybe not.
Now,
I mean, maybe in 5 years, everyone forgets about this.
We'll see.
I mean, he's got 5 years to hope that he does something that makes everyone forget. Royal Farms remembers. If you don't know Royal Farms, it's a gas station chain in the Baltimore area, and Justin Tucker was the face of them. He was on He's in billboards all over the Baltimore, like greater DMV area. It's
not Pepperidge Farms, but Royal Farms.
Exactly. Yeah, Royal Farms remembers. Dr. Preston gets me. He knows where we're at.
Yep. Do you think he gets signed this year?
Not until November 11th. I just don't think it makes sense. There's no reason. Like, everyone's going to wait. There's no one, like, you're going to, maybe you compete to pick him up. Maybe, I mean, there's going to be some team that's going to need a kicker, and he's going to be there, and they're going to take him. That's a fact.
Yeah.
Sign, seal, deliver, I'm yours. If there's a team come November 11th that is having a sketchy kicking record, Mr. J Tuck is going to get a bring, 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 bring. Hey, man, you want to sign with us? Unfortunately, we don't have a lot of rub and tugs in the city, but, I mean, ideally, Justin Tucker gets to go to New York, where they're on, like, every second corner.
Yep.
Dude, imagine those numbers if he played for the Jets.
Oh, my God. That would definitely be something. I agree with you. I don't think there's no reason for a team to endure the headache that's going to come with him if he's not even playing. So I don't think he gets signed until after his suspension is up.
1,000%. It's also just a money thing. On top of, like, you're right, the headache, and so it's no headache and no money. I mean, Justin Tucker doesn't need it, so it's that's why he's not going to be trying to push, and they're not going to do anything. It's going to be whatever. It's hard to even imagine what team he's going to end up. I know someone's going to be there. Just whoever has the roughest kicking this season. I mean, that's always something that just, there's some teams every year you have a kicker that comes out of nowhere and is an absolute stud. And you got a guy that everyone thinks is decent or was decent the previous year, just start being trash. It happens every year. It's pretty consistent in the NFL, I think. Go look. And so, somewhere around November 11th, some team that's got a terrible extra point rate is just going to be like, all right, here we go.
Kickers are weird. Kickers are weird, man. Kickers, they just kind of fall off a cliff randomly. Like, you think they're really good, and then all of a sudden they suck.
Yeah, it's such a mental thing. That's like, it's a very mental game on top of the physical, like, demand and precision that's required to play the position. And that, like, it's such a specific 2-for-1 where it really can, like, if someone gets in your head, they can ruin you for a while. I mean, they can ruin your entire career when one dude gets in your head the wrong way.
100%.
Speaking of getting your head the wrong way, Steve Spurrier had comments about Arch Manning recently. And I know you found him interesting, Dr. Preston. I'm going to let you give me your thoughts on this. But
first of all, if you don't know who Steve Spurrier is, you're missing out.
Ball coach.
The old ball coach, the head ball coach. Steve Spurrier was the Lane Kiffin of his time. Steve Spurrier walked so Lane Kiffin could run in terms of coaches trolling people and just talking all the shit. Steve Spurrier was infamous for talking shit, and he's kind of doing it again. And I brought up this point before, so this is why I thought this was interesting.
Yep.
So Steve Spurrier was asked about Arch Manning, and he said, "Oh, he's already projected to win the Heisman. People think he's going to be the first overall pick next year, and he hasn't done anything. He started 2 games last year. He started 2 games when Quinn Ewers got hurt, and so he brings up the point of if he's supposed to be all of these things." When Quinn Ewers was struggling last year, because in my opinion, he was hurt and he couldn't get the velocity on the ball like you need to. And why wasn't Arch put in those games? Like, we went to the SEC championship game, Texas and Georgia, and a lot of Texas fans were adamant that we were going to see more of Arch Manning because you gave Sark some time to prepare for Georgia. And we never saw Arch Manning in that game. So my whole thing, and I've been saying this for a while, Quinn Ewers was obviously hurt last year. Pretty sure he had a torn oblique in his shoulder. And that's significant because you can't get the proper zip on the ball to throw it into very tight, close-knit windows. And that's especially evident in the red zone. And Texas struggled in the red zone last year. They had to throw screens, and they had to lob balls. When the space is that condensed in the red zone, it's hard to throw those kind of passes and be consistently successful.
Yeah.
So if Arch Manning is supposed to be all of this, why wasn't he in the games last year when Quinn was obviously struggling? Why wouldn't you bring in Arch to the red zone more often? At least utilize his legs and his arm. So I think Texas fans need to pause. I think they need to just kind of calm their tits a little bit on Arch Manning. Like, he's so hyped because of his name and because of his family legacy. I understand why. But we still need to see him do it.
Yeah.
I mean
he's got an amazing family name. I mean, you can only say truly legendary uncles. But you're right. He's only had this he's got a very limited sample size of his work. And a lot of it is kind of gadget stuff or, designed runs, stuff like that, utilizing his athleticism. Now, you do see that he is someone that is always working. I'll give that to Arch Manning. You see a lot of stuff. Obviously, the man's got a media package around him like anyone else because of his last name, because of the position he's in, because of the NIL era and all the deals he's got. It feels like that guy's probably got a camera beside him, around him, almost 24/7, And you see that, he is out there and he is working. So you got to give him that credit. But you're right. Like, throwing on air or, lifting weights and all this, like, that's something. But, like, football is decided on a field that is 110 yards, 100 in between end zones, 120, 100 between end zones. And that's where everything matters. And, he's had not a lot of time on that spot at this level. But I don't know, man. I believe in Arch. I know he hasn't had a chance, but I think him sitting is actually like the best thing for him. How many times have we seen a young quarterback get thrown in college and in the NFL just get thrown into the fucking sharks? The SEC is the worst fucking shark pit in any level of football, I will argue. Like, I feel like if you're a young quarterback that isn't ready and you get thrown in the SEC, it is worse than being like a young high round draft pick that gets like thrown into a team. Like, I feel like the SEC has got to be worse just because the parity in teams is so crazy sometimes. You're just getting beat like 60 points in a game, just trying to survive, getting sacked 8 times.
And if you suck, they all hate you. Everyone hates you.
Yeah, they burn your truck.
They do.
They come and find you and light your truck on fire.
I forgot about that. I believe in Arch. I obviously think he has the talent and, the family legacy and name to be successful. I just struggle to anoint players before I see them do it.
100%. I
Like
also think this draft class coming out,
he's not entering this year's draft.
I just kind of mean this whole like class. I guess I'm including him, but like the people that are going to graduate this year and next year, like the next two classes that everyone's kind of like really been talking about.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like there's a lot of overhype. I mean, as a Clemson fan, like everybody's saying that Cade Klubnik's like a first pick, and I'm like, dude, he's gonna have to show me something this year for me to say that. That's crazy. Like, I don't know. I'm a Clemson fan, and putting him up there is crazy. But like, same thing with Archer. He's got that kind of hype too, and it's like, where is it from? But like, there's all these quarterbacks. Lenore Sellers. I mean, he had a great season last year, but
Garrett Nussmeier.
I mean, yeah, Nussmeier. Yeah. I feel like him. Yeah. Fucking Nussy.
I'm going to call my shot on here. I like to do that a lot. Arch Manning is not entering the draft next year. The Manning family has a history of you need at least 2 years starting in college to be ready for the NFL. He's not going to go one and done. He's going to stay at Texas for 2 more years.
I don't think he's going to end this draft. I just mean like that group in general.
Yeah, I mean,
this group that's kind of everybody that's playing this year. I just like they're I don't know.
I mean, dude, people are hyping up Drew Aller. Like, bro, have you watched Drew Aller play any good teams and play well? Yeah. Like, I mean, I feel kind of the same way about Cade Klubnik. I think Klubnik has probably a higher floor, but I think Drew Aller has a much higher ceiling. Like Garrett Nussmeier, he just needs to put it all together because he has all the tools.
Yeah, he makes.
And then Lenore Sellers is just a freak athlete that needs to work on passing.
Well, he needs to get laser eye surgery or something. Dude. I feel like, and I mean that, like, we've all seen that boy's script on his glasses. That shit's crazy, dog. He needs something. Because you can tell there's sometimes where I'm like, dog, where are your glasses at? Are you not wearing contacts? Can you not wear contacts? What the fuck is wrong with you? Because he every once in a while, like he'll break off and go to throw a pass and it'll just go straight to a linebacker. And they're like, what was that, dude?
I mean, but to be fair, Drew Aller does the same thing.
Fair. I mean, he needs to go get his eyes checked too. I'm just saying, you can tell that's what Lenore Sellers' problem is. So sometimes he does like some crazy stuff, and when he comes out of a spin, it just takes him a second for his vision to catch up. Every time, dude. Yeah, that's. But this class is it's got interesting potential because honestly, I think Cade Klubnik has the highest ceiling. I think he's got a solid floor just because he's been working with pro-style coaches, right? And like Dabo's, I feel like consistently produce guys that are fucking there. Maybe sometimes they like to go solicit people once they're in the professional league, but they got guys that do decent out there. And another interesting class of quarterbacks that some teams are going to take and probably throw in way too early. That's all.
100%. Like Drew Aller should not be a first-round quarterback based on his career tape so far.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, you just look at the arm. Like, are you going to be another Anthony Richardson? I don't know. I don't think Arch, like I said, I don't think Arch will be a part of this upcoming draft class. I think he's going to stay at Texas for this year and the following year. And again, like, I think Texas fans need to pump the brakes a little bit because he's being hyped up as, he's going to bring us to a national championship. He's going to win the Heisman. He's going to do all these great things. We need to see it first. And again, if Sark didn't play him last year when Quinn Ewers was literally hurt and could not throw zip on balls, could not throw in the red zone, I think we need to pump the brakes a little bit.
Fair.
I think I need to see it. I need to see it.
All right. So. Speaking of pumping the brakes, we have a list. It's the 12 greatest college football games
in the
Corey.
playoff era. So since
in the playoff era.
2014.
And non-playoff games, so ones that aren't like part of the CFP specifically.
Yes. So
this first one is Oklahoma, Texas Tech. This was Patrick Mahomes, Baker Mayfield.
They put up 1,708 yards of total offense.
Yeah, dude. 66 to 59, insane.
Joe Mixon had over 200. He had 263 yards rushing, 114 yards receiving, and 5 total touchdowns. Baker Mayfield threw for 7 touchdowns. Patrick Mahomes threw 88 times. It was also their leading rusher. What the fuck? This game was not real. This game was not real.
All right. And then you got they scored how many points in the fourth game?
I do remember this game.
Yeah, absolute classic. North Carolina versus App State, 63-61. Yeah, this game was insane. What was the oh man. In the final 9 minutes, App State produced 649 yards total offense.
Isn't that insane?
UNC had 130 yards of penalties.
Of course. Classic.
App State beat Texas A&M College Station a week later.
They did do that. App State, they have a history of playing FBS teams really tough or upsetting them outright.
Yeah, they're an upset. They're them and JMU are like schools like that, like the notorious upsetters.
Dude, and now both of them are in the Fun Belt.
Oh,
shout out to the Sun Belt, App State and JMU.
One of them is going to go to the Pac-12. The newly rebuilding Pac-12. All right, the Caleb Williams game. This is 10, Oklahoma 55, Texas 48 from October 9th, 2021.
Mm-hmm.
This is, the world's introduction to Caleb Williams.
Yes.
Yeah, wow. That's crazy. Yep. So the week before, Spencer Rattler sucked. Caleb Williams was like, I got this, bro. And now the Bears have a quarterback.
Yep.
We
will, yeah. No, I mean that was a crazy game. Oklahoma was down huge in that game. I remember watching that game and I was just like, holy shit, like this is awesome. Like 28-7 at the end of the first quarter against Texas. And then Caleb Williams comes in, runs like for a 66-yard touchdown, I believe. And It was crazy. That game was fucking crazy. And Oklahoma goes on to win. Beat Texas 55-48. All right. This next game was fucking ridiculous.
The game that perked Sean McDonough. This is a crazy one.
He has trouble with the snap game.
He has trouble with the snap. He scores for the last play of the game.
Unbelievable. Jalen Watts Jackson broke his hip on that play. A lot of people don't realize that. He's the one that recovered the botch snap and ran it for a touchdown. When he was celebrating, obviously he got mobbed in the end zone and they broke his hip. Did you know that?
Yeah, I remember.
Yep.
That's crazy.
That game was absolutely awesome. And that gave us one of the greatest college football memes of all time. The fucking Michigan dude with glasses.
Oh, yeah. Sad guy.
Absolutely. Big sad.
They came back from what? TCU
I
coming down.
Don't remember this game off the top of my head.
I don't really either, but it seems like a great game.
Great game. Oregon. TCU wins it in 3 overtimes. TCU was down 21-0 at the end of the first quarter in the Alamo Bowl back in 2016. They trailed as much as 31-0 at halftime. And then, yeah. Oh, Riley, I know you want to talk about this game.
Yeah, dude. 7, the day that ACC Titans. This was an absolute insane classic game. Louisville versus Clemson.
Lamar Jackson. Louisville. Yeah.
Lamar Jackson versus Deshaun Watson. This game was such a classic. October 2nd, 2016, a cold fall night, and these two teams battled it out, man. Deshaun Watson 306 yards, 91 yards rushing, 3 touchdown passes. Lamar Jackson 295 passing yards with 162 rushing yards and 3 total scores. Clemson did turn it over 5 times. That's like the stat that I always think about. This was like an insanely close game. A 2nd and 7 from the Clemson 9. Like, that's what ended it. This game was just wild, dude.
I mean, Louisville probably wins that game if there were – I remember it was like 4th and 11 or something.
Yeah.
And the wide receiver just ran out of bounds. He could have gotten the first down, but he ran out of bounds. This was it right here.
Yep.
What are you doing? You have to at least dive. Or cut it back inside.
He
try to
should
make
have
him
cut
miss.
it back inside. He should.
Like what are we doing?
This was a great game, though, man. This is an amazing game.
Yep.
Oh, absolute classic.
Clemson went on to win the national championship that year.
If
they lose this game,
yeah,
they don't even make the playoff because they also lost to Pitt that year.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Crazy.
All right.
6 UCF, South Florida.
I don't remember this game, but I remember people talking about it, saying like I missed a banger.
Greatest game you forgot about. This is another one I also didn't remember. This is the way to call it. Baylor 61, TCU 58.
Yeah. I remember.
You remember this one?
Yeah, I do, because that was 2014.
Yep.
And because TCU lost that game and they went on to win the Big 12, Ohio State got in over TCU. And that was like a huge debate. Ohio State went on to win the national championship. And Virginia Tech beat them that year. And then we went on to go 7-6. This was back when like Art Briles was in the Big 12 at Baylor, and it was just wide open run and gun type offenses where you had RG3, Bryce Petty, that's a blast from the past right there. Bryce Petty
tore him up this game.
Yep.
All right, the game that changed overtime. Texas A&M,
They changed overtime for the worse, man.
Yeah.
College overtime was so much better before the fucking changes. And I'm sorry, but this game was an absolute banger. I remember watching this game in a bar. And we wanted to leave, but we couldn't leave because we needed to see the end of this game. This was the game that Ed Orgeron got a Gatorade bath because LSU thought they had won it. And Texas A&M forced overtime, and then Texas A&M won it in 7 overtimes. And this was before the 2-point conversion bullshit. They were actually playing from the 25-yard line in every single overtime. Oh,
awful called back pick too.
Yeah,
crazy.
Joe Burrow was in that game. That's crazy.
270 yards on a rush. The Rose Bowl delivers. USC 52, Penn State 49. This is Saquon Barkley's last year, I think.
Yes, right? This was his last year.
Yeah, Sam Darnold, USC versus Saquon Barkley, Penn State.
No, this was his sophomore year. No, I don't. I believe this. I don't believe this was his last year, actually.
Oh, shit.
Anyway, if you haven't seen the Saquon Barkley catch and run from this game, when he breaks like 6 tackles and cuts it all the way back across the field and scores, you need to go watch that. I don't know if we can find it. I think it happened in the third quarter, like at the start of the third quarter. This is it. That right there. Just watch this, dude. Saquon Barkley, man. Breaks 6 tackles, cuts it all the way back across the field. Penn State would lose this game because Trace McSorley wanted to, he threw a game-losing interception. But this was an absolute banger. This was an absolute classic Rose Bowl right here.
Hollywood.
I'm honestly shocked this game's on here.
Yeah.
Like, I get it, so this was the game. So this is the year after Georgia beats Alabama, or after Alabama beats Georgia in the national championship game, when Tua comes in and beats Georgia. And then Georgia knocks off Tua, and Jalen Hurts comes in the game and does the same thing to Georgia. So this is when it looked like Georgia was never going to get over the hump to Daddy Saban.
I mean, did they really ever?
I mean, they beat him in a national title game, but, Jameson Williams got hurt. I would argue, I think Bama still wins that game, but Jameson Williams does not get hurt. But yeah,
Saban's forever's Kirby's daddy. We all
100%. Yeah.
But this one, the Hollywood, Alabama 35, Georgia 28, the SEC Championship 2018. Hendon Hooker hysteria. Tennessee 52, Alabama 49.
This
October
was when
15, 2022.
This was when Tennessee ended Alabama's losing, winning streak on them.
Yeah.
And this is when they tore down the goalposts, they threw them in the river, all that stuff. It was. I remember this game. This game was absolute chaos, absolute fucking madness.
All right.
So, are there any games that they should have had on here?
That's what I was going to say. On top of this list, me and Dr. Preston, we put our collective brains together and we thought about some games fitting the criteria. So, college games in the college football playoff era that weren't playoff games.
Yes.
And so this is a list, our quick list of some games that we thought that were not on here. So first we have Clemson versus Notre Dame. And
bring your own guts.
BYOG, bring your own guts.
Yeah.
2017.
That was
2015.
Yeah, 2015.
2015.
Yeah.
Yep. 24-22. This was just an insane game.
Yes.
I mean, Notre Dame almost came back and won it.
Clemson won on a 2-point conversion, if I'm not mistaken.
No, they won on a stuff of a 2-point conversion.
Yeah, that's what it was. Yes.
Yeah, that shit was insane. This whole game was crazy.
Wasn't it in a monsoon too, like during a hurricane?
It was like raining on and off the whole time. This was the last play. Boom. Just piled them at the dog. This game was insane. And obviously the legendary bring your own guts. Oh my God. I was hoping to be right here.
They don't have it.
They don't have it. BYG, bring your own guts.
Yep.
Then this is Alabama Georgia games, SEC championship games. This is one that I feel like, we both were like, this was one that should have been on the list.
Yeah, 100%. Florida State fans, look away. This is probably going to be painful. This got you left out of the CFP. But if you remember, Georgia was dominating Bama in the beginning of this game. And this is just kind of what happens when you recruit at the level that these programs do. Alabama threw out their whole game plan, and they just said, fuck it. We're going to play base defense, and we're going to let our athletes be athletes. And if you remember, Jalen Milroe went the fuck off with his legs in this game. Georgia had no answers for him. And Alabama, after saying, hey, you know what, we're just going to let our freak athletes be freak athletes, throw out the entire game plan. They win the SEC 27-24. Once again, proving that Nick Saban isn't back Kirby Smart's daddy.
Very classic. Yeah. All right. Another Georgia game.
Another Georgia game.
another Georgia game. We have last year's Georgia versus Georgia Tech. Oh my God. What's that? Another Kirby Smart timeout game. I mean, was 8 overtimes and 2 timeouts in each one, I felt like. I mean, the dude was murdered.
It was stupid. They changed the rule because of that game and because of Kirby.
But this game was just insane, dude. There's no other way to say it. Like, just 8 overtimes is crazy. Dude, getting Georgia there Tech was insane. Georgia Tech put on an absolute masterclass of quarterback running.
Mm-hmm. Haynes King, baby.
Haynes King.
Run the ball.
I mean, the man threw for 303 and ran for 110. 2 touchdowns throwing, 3 on the ground, and then in the overtimes
Poor Brent Key, man.
Yeah, dude, this game was insane, man.
Like, I get it. If I was ever in an 8 overtime game and I lost, I don't know what I would do. I wouldn't talk to anybody. I wouldn't talk to anybody for probably 4 or 5 days after that.
Yeah, dude. And he had to do an interview.
Oh, dude, it's Big Dog. He hates that fucking game.
Oh, dude, that game was insane.
It made his goat cry. Oh no.
And his goat won.
Yeah, dude.
Georgia won the end. That's how insane that game was. That's why it's crazy this game is on the list, because like everyone, if you were a Georgia Tech fan, you were on the edge of your seat. If you were a Georgia fan, you felt like the world was about to end.
I mean,
such a good game.
Brent Key looked like he was about to cry.
I think he did cry. I mean, that right there.
He absolutely cried. Yeah. And it just, I mean, Kirby Smart looked exhausted too. Like, I mean, this game was an absolute banger.
Yeah.
And then Riley, I think we got one more.
We have another Clemson versus Florida State.
Oh,
2016.
No. We got 2 more. I'm sorry. But yeah, this was when Florida State, before they had like, you know, a collapse in the last years of Jimbo. This was when they were still competing for national titles, ACC titles. This is when they had Dalvin Cook. Dalvin Cook ran all over Clemson. He had a history of that. He ran over a lot of people. But Clemson, they get the win. 100. Yeah, dude.
19 carries for 169 yards and 4 touchdowns. What a stat line.
That's fucking insane.
But even with it, Clemson does persevere.
Yes. And, you know, Clemson, they're able to get the win 37-34 in Tallahassee. I mean.
Absolutely. I mean, you know, this was just a crazy game, dude. Any game that gets this close, you're like, oh.
Yeah. All right. And I think we got another one or no?
We have 2 games plus 1 game. We have 2023 Oregon versus Washington, both of them. Both them.
Yes.
The regular season meeting, which is this one, the 33-36 Washington Huskies victory. And then this is the Pac-12 championship that ended as a 34-31 Washington Huskies victory.
Yes.
I mean, both these matchups were insane. These teams did not want to lose to each other.
No.
Washington had the biggest chip on their shoulder that they had ever had because they were unsuspecting. Like, they were coming on with an absolute thunderstorm led by Kellen DeBoer, just out of nowhere.
Mm-hmm.
And Oregon, you know, perennial Pac-12 dominant feature. They got smacked around they came into Washington in a bad time.
Kalen DeBoer is 5-0. A lot of people don't know this. Kalen DeBoer is 5-0 against Dan Lanning, Steve Sarkisian, and Kirby Smart. Those are 3 of the best coaches in football.
That's why Alabama hired him, man. People want to know.
Exactly. And they're already ready to fire him. But these 2 games were absolute classics. And it's kind of started the narrative of, can Dan Lanning win a big game? you know. But it's like, bro,
Yeah.
Washington made the national title that year. Like, there's no shame in losing to this Washington team with Michael Penix and Rome Odunze.
I mean, Michael Penix was one of the iciest guys.
Jalen Polk, like they were dominant.
Yeah.
You know, like, and both these games were absolute classics. Washington, like I said, they went on to lose to Michigan in the national title game. But, you know, just wanted to shout out these two games as well. All right.
All right.
Riley?
Yeah. We're going to.
It's the Trash Talk Tailgate. Come along and join the tailgate.
All right. We're going to bring on
Hello.
producer extraordinary Jazzy Jasper Green.
Yeah.
It's a little this or that.
So I got two to choose from today. We got an absolute monster. We have a keep 7 out of 21 or keep 6 out of 12.
Okay.
I mean, let's do the 7 out of 21. Give it to me.
Bucks
All
it.
right.
Let's do it.
Doing the monster. All right. So
shout out TTT writers.
Absolutely shout out the writers, man. They've been going crazy. They've been and I told them to put some garbage in here too to fuck y'all up.
Okay.
So I hope the writers does. I can't tell by looking at this list. I don't know who half these people are. But basically, you got to keep 7 out of the following NFL LBs, and I'm guessing that means linebackers.
Yes.
Y'all tell me, because the first name is Ray Lewis.
Keeping
Ray Lewis. All right. Jack Lambert.
I want to say keep.
You got 21 of these, bro.
I want to say keep.
Let's run. Yeah.
So keep it, Jack Lambert. Jack Ham.
I think Lambert was better than Ham. I mean, they're both Hall of Famers.
Keep going.
They both played for your Steelers, Jasper. You should know them.
I'm a casual fan.
Keep reading the list.
I'm with Tampa Bay.
Wait, okay. So are we doing it like we know the list and then?
No, I want you guys to have them. I think there should be no takesies, backsies. I think the only thing you should be able to do is drop one of the keeps.
Okay.
One of them, but then we got 21. We're gonna pick early.
Oh shit. Buck them
I
up.
say we get read me all 21 and give me one. I don't want to takesy backsies either, but I wanted to hear who we got.
All right. Dick Buttkiss.
Nice.
Derek Brooks. Junior So, is that how you spell his name?
Seau.
Junior Seau.
Mm-hmm.
Chuck Bednarik.
Bednarik, yeah.
Lawrence Taylor.
Oh, we're keeping him.
Patrick Willis. Bobby Bell. Bill George. Chuck Howley.
Okay.
George Connor. Derek Thomas. Ted Hendricks. Joe Schmidt. Ray Nikitsky.
Okay.
Kevin Green. Mike Singletary.
Ooh.
Cornelius Bennett. Andre Tippett. James Harrison. And Luke Kuechly.
Kuechly.
Luke Kuechly.
Yep. Fuck, I'm not gonna remember all the names. I say keep Ray Lewis. Fuck, it's just way too many names. I can't keep track of all of them.
We should have figured something like write them down before doing the big bitch.
I was trying to keep up, writing them down. I got Bobby Bell. That's where I stopped.
Yeah.
All right. Bill George.
I got George on the next one. I missed Bill.
Okay.
Oh shit, Bobby Bell, Bill George,
Chuck Howley.
All right.
Okay.
George Connor.
No.
Derek Thomas.
Mm-hmm.
Ted Hendricks. Joe Schmidt. Ray Nikitsky. Kevin Green. With the E on the end. Mike Singletary.
Yeah.
Cornelius Bennett.
Yeah.
Andre Tippett. James Harrison. Luke Kuechly.
Kuechly. Yeah, it's a weird
God, they must have butchered his name so much in school.
name.
This man had such a hard fucking time with it.
It's Luke Knuckly.
Mr. Knuckly.
Luke Knuckly. All right.
I've got 5 so far. Go through the list again, Jasper.
Ray Lewis, Jack Lambert,
Okay.
Jack Ham,
Okay.
Dick Butkus,
Ooh, okay.
Derek Brooks,
Yeah.
Junior Seau, Chuck Bednarik,
Yeah.
Lawrence Taylor, Patrick Willis, Bobby Bell, Bill George,
Mm-hmm.
Chuck Howley, George
All right,
Connor.
You can stop. Okay. All right. Are we agreeing? Like, are we trying to come to a consensus, or is this me and Riley?
I don't know who half these people are, so I can't participate.
They
The TTT writers are beyond me.
are, dude. I've got 7. We're supposed to keep 7, right?
Yep. Keep 7.
So I have Ray Lewis, Derek Thomas, Derek Brooks, Mike Singletary, Jack Lambert, Dick Butkus, and Lawrence Taylor. Those are my 7.
Something like that. That's how I'm spelling it. Knuckly.
Knuckly.
Fuck his last name.
Just, yeah. Oh, he's going James. Okay.
I feel like James Harrison, you kind of, dude, the man.
But these are all-time legends. Like, and he is one, but
I mean, he won a Super Bowl on him.
I mean, he did. He had that 104-yard interception return for a touchdown.
One of the greatest Super Bowl moments by a linebacker ever.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
Dude played out of his mind. All right, so wait, Ray Lewis, you said Jack Lambert?
I did say Jack Lambert, yeah.
I feel like we're split between Ham and Lambert. I feel like Lambert is probably good.
Yeah, I said Butkus.
Yeah, Butkus.
I had Brooks.
Yeah.
Because I think he might be the most underrated linebacker in NFL history. I had Derek Thomas. I think I really love Derek Thomas. I mean, he was an absolute beast on those Chiefs teams.
What about Bednarik?
No, I didn't. I thought about him.
Not Chuck? The man the linebackers award's named after?
I mean, but he played everything though. Like he was like,
I mean, yeah, anybody in those old ages, you did fucking everything. Like he was linebacker, safety, quarterback, team cook, general manager, and he handled the finances when they paid the fucking hotels.
Yeah.
You know, he did everything.
I also had Mike Singletary.
Oh yeah, Mike Singletary. That's one of the names.
I don't think you have him on your list, but yeah.
I missed him.
You missed him. I mean, he was the leader of the 85 Bears. I feel like you have to have him.
All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This is our 7?
I think so. Did you not? I thought you wanted James Harrison.
No, I mean, it's a hard pick, but I agree.
It is a hard pick.
I feel like this list is fair. You're right, because Mike Singletary. I just didn't have him on my list, but you're right. I mean, that's the dude that led the 85 Bears.
Yeah, I also had Derek Thomas on mine, but yeah, Derek Thomas. Yeah.
Instead of who?
Who instead of who? Oh, you have Luke Kuechly highlighted. That's why.
Oh.
Yeah.
Luke Kunkel.
Luke
Knuckly.
Yeah.
Knuckly.
I love Kuechly. He's an absolute beast, but I don't think he stacks up against these all-time legends at linebacker. This is tough, man.
Yeah.
The TTT writers, man. They bring it.
They absolutely bring it. All right. Jasper, do you said you had some more fresh sauce for us?
I do. So I don't know what you meant to the writers when you asked them for King of the Hill stuff.
Okay.
That's what the writers told me.
King of the Hill.
King of the Hill stuff.
So that's like the way that I sent him, or I sent them videos. Like the way that I see King of the Hill going is like you have two players that are worse, and then you have to pick one, and then they go up like it's a staircase. So it's like, okay, like these two wide receivers, you pick one, and then they go up against another better wide receiver. It just stacks. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I don't know if they got it. So here's the first one.
All right.
Which starting pair
hold on. Here's what we do. Give us the first two. The first two are a match.
All right.
And then whoever wins is the
all right.
match against the next person on the list.
Yeah.
Versus the next person on the list.
So
just
it's like
your list.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So the first two are like together. So it's a number one.
So the first one I only have 4, and it's just 2 pairs.
Oh, it's 2 pairs. Well, then do.
I think it's just. I think this would be better as a would you rather.
Okay, that's cool.
So, which pair of starting offensive tackles would you prefer to have on your team in the upcoming NFL season?
This or that.
Rashawn Slater on left tackle and Joe Alt on right tackle, or Taylor Decker and Penei Sewell. Yeah,
Taylor Decker, Penei Sewell. Clap it in.
This is we do love the Lions on the TTT.
We do. I mean, because I just think Joe Alt is a monster, but I don't think that Slater and Alt compare to Decker and Penei.
But Decker's old though, and Slater and Alt.
I'm sorry. Go tell every defensive end they played last year that.
I mean, that's
go
fair.
Tell them that, motherfucker, right now.
I mean,
you go straight up into his face. I love, dude. Both of them. That is a dominant team. He's old, but he's playing like Whitworth. When, you know what I'm saying? Like right now, he is playing with age, and he has got the tools, he has got the tricks, and he is consistent. Like I'm gonna need to see someone this season dethrone him before you can make me pick them over him. You're right, they're younger, but I feel like we're just picking. And goddamn it, if we're picking, this is it.
I mean, we do love the Lions. I think Penei Sewell's the best out of everyone, but I think Joe Alt and Rashawn Slater are right there with Decker. So it's like
that's my thing. Is they're both right there with Decker, but Penei Sewell's so much better. So it's 2 dudes that are on that level versus 1 dude that's on that level and 1 dude that's a fucking star. A monster.
Yeah. If we're going for next year, I'm still gonna take the Lions. If it was to build your team around, I would go with the Chargers.
I mean, sure, yeah. If you're Madden franchising, it is probably because those 2 dudes are just younger. But at the same time, I don't know, man. I'll take at worst case, you can trade Decker and build around Penei.
All right. Do we have anything else from the writers?
We got more. We got more of that. So, which trio of left guard, center, and right guard would you prefer to pick for the upcoming NFL season? Which one do you think is going to be better?
Right guard. So interior offensive lineman.
Yes. Okay. I say yes, like I know what that means.
Yeah.
Kansas City Chiefs, Mike Calindo, left guard. Crees Humphrey, is that how you say his name?
Creed.
Cree Humphrey at center and Trey Smith at right guard. For Tampa Bay, Ben Bredson, right? That's how you say his name?
Sure.
Graham Barton at center and Cody Mach at right guard.
Fuck. I think
for the last one, Green Bay Packers, Aaron Banks, left guard, Elgton Jenkins at center, and Sean Ryan at right guard.
I mean, listen, we're talking about interior offensive lines, and with that being it, this is the core 3 in the middle. I think you got to take the Chiefs just because of how much better Creed Humphreys is than every other center.
Creed Humphrey is the best player on that list.
And I just don't think any of the guards are so different from each other where there's like a parity that balances how much better Creed Humphrey is than the rest of the centers.
The one argument that I would say is we all saw what happened to that O-line in the Super Bowl.
But
they got ran through.
Really the interior, or was it the tackles being?
I think it was
also
everything.
Joe Thuney was the guard for that Super Bowl, and it's a different guard than him. So
that's true.
It's not exactly the team.
But Riley, he's the Bears savior. You know that, right?
He is the Bears savior, absolutely, dude. But this isn't the two tackles and Joe Thuney. This is the new guard they have to replace him. Creed Humphreys in their left guard.
I'm still, I think you still have to take the Chiefs. I think Creed Humphrey's the best, although I think the best overall line is the Bucs. I really like what the Bucs have. Yeah, dude. I feel like
I mean, I think if you maybe if you average, I just think Creed Humphreys is so much better though, man. He's just as a center.
Graham Barton's coming though. Graham Barton is coming. Like he's gonna be a stud.
I mean, he's good. It's just as of right now, like if you're going into this season, man, it's the same thing I think with like Decker in the last one where like Creed Humphreys is a proven vet at this point who hasn't shown a decline. So even though every player has a decline, it's just it's hard to say, when it's coming, especially for offensive linemen, because it's such a sometimes they can play until they're almost 40, and sometimes they only get 4 years.
Jasper, are there any stipulations like it is for next year or it's for like the future, like 5 years? Because that's a different conversation. Or
there is no information in here, so I think y'all just need to make that decision now.
Okay.
In your discussion.
All right. What do you want to do, Riley?
I mean,
for next year?
Yeah, I feel like we're just picking for now.
All right, cool.
The information that we have now going, like if we're about to go into next season,
All right. Do we got more?
Yes.
We both said the Chiefs.
Actually, all right. I have a good one with what we have right now. Which, if you were a GM starting today, which tackle combination and interior guard combination from the list Jazz you just gave us would you take? To be your offensive line.
If I'm starting a team, dude, I'm taking the Chargers and the Bucs 100%.
Yeah,
that would be the best offensive line in football.
That'd be it really would, dude. That'd be it'd be a very scary offensive line.
Because if you're talking about for the future, like I'm the GM, I'm taking the younger guys.
GM starts today. You just got a call from Woody Johnson. He said, "We got a spot for you. You gotta pick up who you want." Yeah. So I agree. I got something up to give you that.
Speaking of Woody Johnson, did y'all see the news? It's just kind of a quick aside. Did y'all see that Woody Johnson, like him and his partners, they are doing stuff like in the European soccer space now? You know what? Right?
What does that mean?
Rick's been playing FIFA.
True.
Oh my God, Brick has been playing FIFA.
He's like
FIFA, dude.
Dude, he's just checking out the ratings.
Yep.
So
all right. Anyway, I just wanted to make that joke.
That is funny.
All right, Jazzy.
All right.
That was a good one, Riley. That was a good one. Yeah.
So we got one more, and then I guess we want to end the show.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
All right. So next one's kind of fat.
Let's do it.
Do a fat one. All right. Which of these front seven was the scariest for opposing offenses in their prime? We have the 1986 front seven New York Giants, the Big Blue Wrecking Crew. I have all the names
Taylor.
too.
Okay.
Leonard Marshall, Jim Burt, Harry Carson, Carl Banks. The 1976 front seven of the Pittsburgh Steelers, the Steel Curtain, the Chicago Bears, the Monsters of the Midway, 1985. Yep. 1967 LA Rams, the Fearsome Foursome. And
Deacon Jones.
1975's Minnesota Vikings, the Purple People Eaters.
My gut says the Steelers.
I mean, Monsters of the Midway is consistently one of the best defenses ever talked about.
Yeah.
I mean,
but
when
they
you talk
also,
about great defenses, it's like 85 Bears. But
that's the Steel Curtain, though. They're also up there.
They are, but I want to go, let's do this shit Family Feud style and go pull 100 people in the street.
I think
What's the best defenses in NFL history? I bet you almost everyone starts with 85 Bears and then the Steel Curtain.
I don't know, dude. I feel like it'd be kind of split 50-50.
How many Yinzers are out there in the world?
I'm going to ask Google AI.
All right. Jazzy needs to do his own research. He wants to know what Google AI is going to say.
I do.
But yeah.
All right. So it says that there are two that stand out. The 85 Bears, Monsters of the Midway, and the 2000 Baltimore Ravens. That's what
that
Google
wasn't
AI
on the list,
thinks.
but that would have been up there.
All right, so Google AI thinks it's fucking the general half-ass bullshit. That used to be a gif.
Google AI isn't old enough to remember the Steel Curtain. It's not.
It's not. I think it's like a toddler right now.
Yeah, dude.
It's a
fucking stupid.
I will say, so can you give me like the question of this, right? The actual, like, what's the way it was worded?
Was the scariest for opposing offenses in their prime.
All right. With that being said, following this, at 86 Giants defense. Because Lawrence Taylor had the most injured quarterbacks.
Was Lawrence Taylor? He was on that team, right?
Yeah,
he had
to
have been. Yeah.
The guy that hurts the most people. That would be a good way to put it.
I mean, literally, like he
made two
Lawrence Taylor,
decisions.
who was the MVP of the league that year.
Mm-hmm. He broke Joe Theismann's leg.
Attributed to 10 injuries in the season.
Yeah, if it's the most terrifying, the Steelers had so many Hall of Famers on that defense, but if it's just like, who are you just terrified to go up against?
I was gonna say, if the questions be terrified, fuck, let's go against convention, because best defenses, those dudes get all the acceleration. You want the most terrifying defense? You know the defense you're scared to line up against? It was any defense that featured Lawrence Taylor when he was doing crack. That is a fact. It's not a joke. He has talked about it on multiple platforms. That during that 86 season, when he was hurting all those people, he was doing crack.
And he was still, he could have been doing that shit without the crack, but
the crack helped.
The crack definitely helped. Bill Belichick, the greatest coach of all time, will tell you the two greatest players in NFL history are not Tom Brady. It's Lawrence Taylor and probably Ed Reed. Go get you someone who loves you like Bill Belichick loves Lawrence Taylor and Ed Reed.
I'm just gonna.
Here, I have something. I was probably a little late for this, but I have a thing for a crack-related joke.
What's okay? That's hilarious. Check, just like buck him up.
Tampa Bay.
Lawrence Taylor did in fact do crack.
He did absolutely do crack cocaine.
Yeah, I dropped it in strat chat.
Oh my god.
Tampa Bay.
You mean the I hate Jack Lee chat?
Yes, the I hate Jack Lee chat.
Mm-hmm. Oh no. What the fuck?
Lawrence Taylor before every football game.
Yep.
And be like, I got no audio on it.
You fucker.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I can't
that's
hear
right.
it.
I forgot about that.
I can't hear it. Anyway.
Anyways, poor people. Crack.
Crack.
Hooray!
Hooray!
By the way, if you have been watching, if you have stayed with us a minute and an hour and 5 minutes into this, we really fucking appreciate you. That's really fucking cool. If you haven't already, please go like, comment, and subscribe. All of that.
It's the Trash Talk Tailgate. Come along and join the tailgate.
Mhm.
Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. It's very important.
Please.
But thank you for tuning in, everybody. It's been a beautiful episode. We've had some great stuff. Hey, if you're hearing and you want to submit your own question for this or that, please. You know, we have a TT writer that's giving us the content, but we love to take anyone's questions. And, you know, we'll shout you out if we do it. But for this episode,
we are the People's Football YouTube show.
This is it. This is the People's Podcast live stream YouTube channel. So, you know, if you want us to cover something, you want us to talk about somebody, let us know. But for this episode, we're going to clean up and get out of here, folks. Peace.